Being that I'm here right now, I'ma go and get it right now, get committed right now. I'ma do some shit that's gonna uplift a bunch of people's spirit right now, help them heal it right now. I'ma get them riches right now. Work plan, manifest, be, speak that shit into existence right now. Can't slow down, got the vision wrote down, cause I seen it, man, I'm on right now. Focus in the motherfucker, swear I'm in the zone right now. Ain't no later, dog, it's only right now.
And it's only right now.
It creates
right now.
No past, no future right now. All I got is right now. No past, no future right now. All I got is right now. Fuck what they did to me, gon' do, cause all I get is right now. Fuck what they did to me, gon' do, cause all I get is right now. So I focus on that when I can focus on now. Pull up at a beach on the outskirts of town. Enjoy the view and give thanks to the truth. And I go hit the yo just to shut that bitch down.
And I'm high right now. So alive right now. Clear skies right now. Living my life by my own rules. I feel what I choose.
What now? Gonna take some words, okay? And I'm right back at it. Divine alignment, fully automatic. I don't think about it, I just watch it happen. I just move toward it and I get supported. When I try to force it, it just get distorted. So I dance with it. Crystals all in my pants with it. Healing all in my hands with it. I'm an alchemist, I'm a master, I'm a rabbi. I'm a sensei, I'm a bad guy. I'm an alien, I'm an animal, I'm a cannibal. I'm so handsome, no. Yo.
And I'm high right now. Can barely open my eyes right now.
And that money we making it. Climbing these ladders and laying foundations, that's masonry. This shit is different, cause my dreams are literally chasing me. Grateful for where life is taking me. I'm living life, that's to say the least. Only true beauty can tame the beast. Only true love can tame that beast.
Are you here with me right now? Right now. Vibe with me. Vibe with me right now. Right now, yeah.
Might need a new chord here. I still hear some sounds.
Yeah, so it's definitely not.
You hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Well, this is on a delay too, though.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Test. Hello, hello, hello. You see, it's something picking up.
This.
Huh?
Yeah, the TV's gonna get the audio, but I don't care about the TV. I care about the live.
But it's picking up here though. It's not
sure?
working when you. It's working. It's whatever's picking up. It's picking up without the cord. Hello. You see, it's something picking up.
It can't be though because it's not.
Where is it picking up?
Talking to your mic.
Yo.
Talking to your mic.
Yo. It's picking up here though. It's not working when you. It's working. It's whatever's picking up. It's picking up without the cord. It's something picking up.
It can't be though because you see how you don't hear the difference in the mics. Talking to your mic.
Yeah. So what do you think it's picking up from the camera?
They're saying they can hear us now.
Yeah.
There you go. It sounds like echoes though. See how you don't hear the difference in the mics?
Let's see here. So what do you think it's picking up?
What is life without technical difficulty?
No, but see how it's echoing?
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure
Hold up.
what that is.
I don't think it's this, but...
Hello.
It's bad. I'm listening to it.
It's on your side. Oh, that's your phone right now?
Yeah. Hey. It was that.
It was what?
Nah.
Nice. Oh, that's your phone right now? It might. I can't say. I don't want to say. I don't think it's the road. It's something when it's connecting to.
Hold on. Yeah, it's picking up from the camera. It's not picking up from the road, but I know it's not because it's not hooked up to the computer. That's
Right.
what I'm telling you.
It's something when it's connecting to.
Yo.
Hey.
Hold on. Yo. Let's see if that makes a difference. You got it plugged in? That's like the actual device, but we always have that muted. And choose the mics.
I don't ever have it on mine.
I know. I said I always have it turned off. Is it my?
It's picking up from something. It's either the computer or the camera.
You got it plugged in. That's like the actual device, but we always
It's back.
have that muted.
Yeah.
Back now, right?
So now we're working.
But you opened the audio back up, is what you did, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, man.
Just
2 weeks in a row with technical difficulties.
if you want to go, just monitor it outside for a few just to see, because I hopefully I don't have to do that to every slide, but maybe I have to.
No, that's why I told you to do it for the main audio.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll transfer. We'll see. Audio. Let me. Like for example, we're gonna go to topics here. Yeah, it looks like it's going over the topics.
What is the setting you got?
Huh? Yeah.
You guys missed some witty repartee.
Yeah, we'll just roll with it, and then just let us know if it's an issue. Like, just keep an ear on it.
Here
Appreciate
we
you.
go.
Yes.
All right, we're back.
We're back. 10 minutes down, but
Like Jesus after 3 days on the cross. Talk about comebacks. Let's give it to the guy with a beard.
Yeah, we always commend Patrick Mahomes, man. And, we got the first guy, whoever.
Came back.
No, but we have a good show for you guys, of course. On the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We're back. The audio issues hopefully are fixed. If not, let us know in the comments. We have. Like I said, we're going to be talking my top 5 shows that I'm watching right now. We got some Giannis Antetokoumpo going at some USA players. We got 50 Cent. We have some World Cup soccer, Glorilla, Deshaun Watson's return.
Glorilla again?
We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff, man.
We can't get rid of her?
Nah, man, she's it right now.
She's like a dingleberry.
It's it's like a new female artist that kind of takes the shine, and she's the new one. I think she took it from what? I think it went from Nicki Minaj maybe to Cardi B, and then I think now it's Glorilla.
Meg never enjoyed it.
Meg. It went from Cardi B to Meg.
What about Lizzo? She had a time.
She's not really a rapper. She's in another lane.
She's in another lane.
Yeah, but Lizzo
she might be in 2 lanes.
No need for my quibble today. I don't know, man. I'll say this quickly. Here. Okay. No, Eb says no echo. Appreciate you, Eb.
Appreciate it.
I'll say this. We get on this show, and I say a lot of crazy stuff. Apparently, I say a lot of crazy stuff.
According to some.
And according to some, and some they reach out to me, and apparently I get in trouble, and they don't like the things that I say. But I'll put it like this, man. I'm just not gonna stop saying these things. I don't know. I have to get on this platform and say what is on my mind. I just have to do it. I don't know.
You got to speak your truth.
I have to speak my truth. Now, again, some of these stories that I tell, some of the sides I take in these relationship dating topics that we do. Some people feel like that they are made up, and some facts of the stories are a little distorted. That's how they may feel. All right. So, and they feel like, if I said like a couple weeks ago, I said something about when Coach Broody was here, I said, they only caught the part where I said my ideal chick, when we got married down the line, she wouldn't be whatever, big and 300 pounds.
Right.
But I literally said before, I date and I deal with big women. I don't mind. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fucking.
Just when it comes to kids, you want to care about genetics.
That's so bad. I mean, back in the day, they used to pair people together to make genetic. How you think LeBron James got here? You think that's by chance? Come on, man.
Wasn't his mama hooker though?
I don't know.
All right. That was by chance and a good 50.
I have to ask Delonte West.
Good evening, Coach Baruti. He's here checking in.
Oh, Coach Baruti, the guy that got me in trouble.
But I don't think he did a damn thing to get you in trouble. That was a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah.
You were Plaxico Burress.
Yeah, I know, man. We're supposed to have Blu Ray in, but, we'll keep this train rolling, man. We're going to keep this train rolling.
He's tardy.
Huh?
He's tardy.
Yeah, he is. He is. We have a lot of stuff. Let's go to oh, man, I have so many things to choose from. I'll tell you what. Let's go to we're going to go Tyler from the USA World Cup soccer team.
Tyler Addams.
And then we'll end the show with like some general USA talk. But I wanted to get
good.
this. I wanted to talk about this quickly because USA team, they defeated
Iran.
And it was after the game, right? In the post game.
No, this was the day before the game.
The day before.
Yeah, in a press conference before the game. Iran, they beat us in 1998. And there's, long history going back to the 80s and the Shah and all this stuff between the two countries. So a lot of negative history, a politically charged game. And in the press conference, I didn't understand how this worked, but I guess you can have some Iranian reporters in the opening pregame presser. And Tyler Addams, who's the U.S. captain at the age of 23, was facing the media. And I guess Bubba's got a clip.
Yes, here we go.
First of all, you say you support the Iranian people, but you're pronouncing our country's name wrong. Our country is named Iran, not Iran. Please, once and for all, let's get this clear. Second of all, are you okay to be representing a country that has so much discrimination against black people in its own borders?
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. That being said, there's discrimination everywhere you go. One thing that I've learned, especially from living abroad in the past years and having to fit in different cultures and kind of assimilate into different cultures, is that in the U.S. we're continuing to make progress every single day. Growing up for me, I grew up in a white family with obviously an African American heritage and background as well. So I had a little bit of different cultures, and I was very very easily able to assimilate in different cultures. So.
Go ahead.
What was notable to me was just the general hostility of the guy asking the question.
Yeah.
Like, there was no build-up to that. He's offended that you mispronounced the name, and then he comes with the racism.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Iran, as they like to call themselves. He's over there abusing women and killing media members.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, and I mean, I hope not credible stories, but there were stories that if the players of Iran lost this game, that their families would be harmed.
No, that's, and every country has their thing. My plan, my mind frame when I'm listening to this, and I really had time to digest it, is to go way left field on this topic here, because the reporter is, we all know, or at least the reports of what goes on. In Iran and Iraq and those places there. But I still say, man, I remember back in the day I read that other countries know black history better than black people do. Like, and I remember they were going into depth about that. And that kind of rings true a little bit here. I always say, for right now, we're in 2022, right? And first of all, Tyler answered that with grace. It was a great answer because he is correct. U.S. has gotten better from, when things were really bad for African Americans here. And it is steadily improving at its fucking snail pace, but it is. I mean, we're, you whatever you got to say, if you're black, you have to agree. Like we've come a long way from where our parents, grandparents, and great-grands have been, and shout out to those guys for being on the trail and paving the way and being instrumental to those changes. But I will say, when it comes to military and when it comes to USA, playing for USA, man, I never understood how those guys could do it at those times. And the reporter I just think he's just he's in a time warp. I think that question, I wish maybe he could have been there, 20 years ago to ask these type of questions to these athletes and military personnel. I remember hearing there are thousands of stories about during the Vietnam War when they were over there. And the people would scream on the intercoms. Those guys would scream on the intercoms. So, brother, this is not your war. What are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like they were fucking like amazed. They were like flabbergasted that black men were over there fighting them for USA. Like, hold on, man.
Well, that's exactly
they're killing y'all, though, man.
That's exactly what Muhammad Ali opposed.
Yeah.
I mean that's the time period you're talking about, and he took the stand. I'm not going to go serve. I've got no quarrel with the people in Vietnam.
Right.
I have a quarrel here.
Yeah.
And and he put at the time his career on the line to stand for that proposition.
Yeah, and then these players that are playing for USA and things like that. It's like you're so prideful and you're so, I gotta win for the country and I gotta do it for us, and it's like, man, this country don't give a goddamn about you. And I'm talking about during those times. I just think, like I said, the reporter he's just in the wrong time frame. He needs to be in one of these movies where he could be teleported back 20 years, because I would fucking love for him to be there and to ask those type of questions to those right athletes. Tyler is not the right athlete to ask this question in 2022.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when you say that, I still think that the U.S.'s record on racism is poor. It's not defensible. What I would also say is that the U.S. is not alone in that. I mean, most of Europe, predominantly white countries are effectively racist in how they conduct themselves. Yeah. And so it's not just isolated to the U.S. and we're the only ones doing this. We're holding on to some time in the past. It is white people. It's white European countries that mistreat black people on a regular basis. Yeah. And we're talking about soccer. Every year there's a couple of absurd instances. There are World Cup qualifying games where England, who has a significant number of black players, they went into the game with the notion that we are prepared to walk off the field if these fans in this other country are abusive to our black players. And that's this World Cup qualifying cycle. Right. It's a continuing global problem that has not been fixed. There may be progress. I think Tyler was trying to be graceful in saying that. But the record remains indefensible. Now, are you going to, again, I think that it was a loaded question. Tyler Addams is not a person that has made any record of making significant political statements.
Yeah. Why you ask him about it?
And the reason why is, again, he immediately criticizes him for the pronunciation, and if you notice, he doesn't let him answer or respond to that question. No. He rolls right into the racism question. That was just an abusive, obnoxious reporter being a dickhead. And he tried to handle it. There's deeper, more profound answers to that. And on some level, it is somewhat complicated to say, well, I'm going to represent this country, but they're doing this or that wrong. But at the end of the day, and this doesn't just absolve anybody from being a citizen of equality, he is a professional soccer player. This is what he does. The World Cup represents the highest, sort of achievement in that. And to say, well, I'm not going to play because of this, that's a huge statement. Not a lot of people are prepared to do that. And again, we could go in history. Muhammad Ali. End of list. Seriously. Yeah. Like, who else did it? Yeah. I mean, John Carlos and John Smith, 68 Olympics, they competed. They won gold and silver, and then they put the fist up. Yeah. And that effectively ended their track and field careers from there, but they went and got the gold first. Yeah. I just think it's a little bit of a low-hanging fruit to kind of go at a guy in that situation.
Yeah, and also, I think it makes a difference that this reporter, I bet you this reporter didn't even know that he was mixed. Probably not, and that he's I don't even think he knew. And that he, like you said, he grew up with a white family. Like, he's not even a part of, he doesn't know that's not the right word, but he just doesn't associate himself with the struggles of in the black community because he wasn't there. He didn't have to grow up there. I mean, and that was a part of his answer. Right. And if the reporter knew that, he would have known this is not the right person to ask this question to get the type of response that I'm probably looking for.
But he got the response he was looking for. That's what we got to realize. Okay. This is not a reporter who has any genuine concern for race relations in the U.S. I'm serious. This is a guy who's trying to get and be an annoying, disruptive guy at a press conference. And, it was, like Tyler Adams is our captain. He was going to be a part of this press conference. Not every player was. There might have been maybe 2 or 3 others and probably the coach. He was just looking at something to dig at. That's the way the Tony asked the questions, the double question. He had a very specific agenda. It's not like there's, you're somebody has said something or made a statement in some way, and you're kind of going at them because they put themselves out there in a spot.
Right.
That wasn't with this guy. This guy just was being a provocative guy.
That's it.
Yeah. And guess what? We beat their ass and sent them home.
Yeah. Take that with you.
Take that with you. Back to your shitty country.
I'll tell you what else you could take.
Yes.
You can take something from overkink.com, my very first sponsor. If you use promo code bubbapink, and when you go to overkink.com, you use promo code bubbapink, it has all, and I do mean all, of your bedroom needs. I don't care what you're into. The kinkiest of the kinky, or if you're just, trying things out and want to spice things up in the bedroom,
I just
love
that whatever you're into. You say it so aggressively.
Yeah, some people are into aggressive stuff.
You don't say it casually. It's like, whatever you're into.
Some people are into aggressive stuff, man.
I guess what I wonder is, like, when somebody's listening to you on that promo, do they have like a reflexive action? Like, does this guy know what I'm into? Like, you say something. We had a situation in the office a couple weeks ago, 2 years ago. And so there was a situation where I had a client and their name was Annalie, but it looked like it was spelled anally. And so I kind of announced, hey, I've got a client named Annalie. And I was laughing. They're like, no, it's not pronounced that way. I'm like, yeah, Annalie. How else would you pronounce it? And a couple stations over, like this other assistant lets out like a big, heavy laugh. Caught my attention. I'm like, she must be into anal. You're not going to laugh that hard if you're not into it. Like, And so I asked another guy, and he had an epic response. He's like, been there, done that, probably liked it. So if Bubba's triggering at you at home with your bedroom needs, do what you got to do. Get on overkink.com and buy something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have an item of the week this week?
Yeah, we did have an item of the week. My thing is not helping me here.
No, it's not.
But the item of the week this week is the vibrating panty. And it has a little clit stimulator inside the panty for maximum enjoyment.
Okay. So now last week we had the remote
vibrator.
Yeah, so this is different.
No, this is different. This is a vibrating panty. I guess you could use it at your own pleasure. It's not like actually inserted inside. It does have a little piece that stimulates the clitoris if that's your thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I guess you could just wear those to work or wherever you're going. Church. PTA meeting.
Whatever's your thing.
You got to feel a little frisky if you wear it to somewhere like that would not be ordinarily appropriate for that.
Yeah.
Ladies, feel free to comment. Where's the most inappropriate place you wore some vibrating panties?
Yeah.
Assuming, of course, you have.
And if not, why not? Why are you not?
Yeah. And
somebody's wearing
so set a goal. Your goal would be to use the Bubba Pink discount this week on some vibrating panties, and then in turn wear them somewhere interesting.
Yeah.
Like church.
Maybe I'll buy something for Christmas. Maybe that'd be one of my Christmas gifts for someone.
For someone?
Yeah, not for myself. For someone.
Do you want to be that lucky someone on Bubba's Christmas list? How would you feel if you went on a date with somebody and kind of midway through the date, they disclosed that they're wearing vibrating panties?
Well, that's only one place you can go from there. So that's a positive.
Okay, that's positive development. Because they thought your conversation would be trash.
Now, if she says that and has no plan to go anywhere. Now that's a problem.
For sure it
That's
is.
a problem. You
For
can't
sure it
you can't
is.
disclose that type of information and then I can't come over. Oh, come on, man. What are we
I've
doing?
already come too much. I can't come over.
Yeah, that's doing too much. But I'll tell you someone else. Giannis, man. Giannis was in an interview. This is a clip, and it's resurfacing now, but I believe this was from a couple of months ago.
I thought it was on the heels of the Eurobasket.
Yeah, over the summer.
Yeah.
And so he's talking with Ibaka, who has his podcast. He cooks during his podcast because he's a chef. I
did not know that.
And from all accounts, he's a damn good one. And so he's asking him about name your 5 international players and can they defeat the best USA players. And so here goes Giannis. He's picking his team. Here he goes.
Starting 5 player from international and from the United States.
International. Okay, let me go a bit.
Okay.
5. Jokic 4. Giannis 3. Maybe Eva Fournier at the 2.
And Luka, you put him.
And Luka at 1. Now let's go to the USA team. Okay, you gotta go Steph. Steph at 1. Best shooting guard in the league. What? Klay Thompson to play together. Let's go there. Steph and Klay Thompson. 3, LeBron. 4, KD. And who's the best American 5-man? Adebayo. We beat them.
You think we beat them?
Yes, we beat them. Who's gonna guard the beat? Adebayo. Okay. Okay, makes sense. Who's gonna guard Jokic? And who's gonna guard me?
Oh man, no, seriously, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to agree with him.
Oh, I do too.
Now, people are gonna listen to that and gonna be like, Evan Fournier, there's no way any team can defeat us with Evan Fournier on the court.
But that was like, God, he's the best guy we got.
I know, right? The
Like,
2
Evan
guard.
Fournier, come
No,
on.
he could have named. There's other people he could name for sure.
Yeah.
And off the top of my head, no. But there are better 2 guards.
Could go
than
Andrew
Fournier.
Wiggins.
But yeah, you can Canada, right?
Yeah.
But he's a piece that fits. You know what I mean? He's not going to get in the way
for what they
would
presumably need him to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, he would fit. But yeah.
Yeah. And also, is this the best version of these players, or is it just right now?
I would think he's talking about right now. Like, there's no if you're gonna just say best players of all time or best form of all time, then you'd have a totally different team.
But just like the players now, but the best versions of themselves.
Nah,
So,
I don't think he put that in there. I thought
Yeah.
he's like, if we're playing next week,
then there's no question.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not. I mean, LeBron is just. I mean, and that's my guy, but he's not.
Well, again, he did what you did. You go through the matchups. It's like, okay, Adebayo can't stop Embiid. I mean, he can maybe defend him a bit, and then you got then KD's gonna fuck around with Jokic. I mean, are you kidding me? And then LeBron and Giannis is a matchup. Fournier and Klay Thompson. Honestly, Klay's better, but that was an unusual pick for the U.S. team. You probably come up with a better player than Klay.
Yeah.
And then you roll with Steph, which is perfectly fine, and he's going against Luka, which is problematic for both guys. Neither one can guard each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, in just a pure. I mean, Jokic is 2-time MVP. Giannis won MVP before that. You could argue that Embiid deserved MVP last year. These are the guys they have.
Luka's on track this year.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, again, you talk about present form. We're not talking about Miami Heat LeBron.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We're not.
Because that's the only way they have a prayer.
Yeah.
Is that version of LeBron and
play game 6.
Yeah.
Just for Klay. Just
Klay.
game 6.
Yeah.
we're already at game 6. Forget the preliminaries. We're in game 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what we're gonna do, I mean, the U.S. might, KD at his absolute peak.
I want one of the USA players to take to take offense to this. No, seriously, because it's like, what do you mean? Because there's already a sentiment that international is game. It's taking over. The NBA and there's always that's chatter. The MVP is going to these guys every year. There's, you know what I mean. The more and more are being drafted. More and more are being on these All NBA teams.
And who's going to be the top pick next year?
You know what I mean?
Victor from France.
Another guy.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, the basketball development has globalized. We don't corner the market on developing players, and so there's no gap there. And so the guys can credibly be developed abroad and integrated quickly into the NBA. And the other reality is, typically, you go back 20 years, the European player was a long, gangly white guy with limited athleticism. That's what a European player was. It wasn't Giannis.
No.
It wasn't Embiid.
No.
But that's the reality of what they have now. You go back to Tony Parker, and again, he was one of the first guys to come in as a guard, and he's as quick as damn near anybody in the league. That's not, what you thought a European player was.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You
that game, man, the Golden State versus Dallas, man.
Last night.
Luka and Steph. That game was a great game.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, so we've already talked about Dallas Mavericks and what they put around Luka, but now it takes it a step further. Like when Luka is off the court, when he has to go take a rest, that team they look really bad.
Yeah.
I think they've done a decent job putting a team around him when he's on the floor. You have your shooters, your spot up shooters, and he's a guy that you just have to run his offense. He's offense in terms of like LeBron. You talked about it many
I've always
times.
said that there's a lot of similarities.
But they have to find a guy that can play alongside him and generate that and work that second unit when he's off the floor.
The sad thing is they kind of sort of had that in Jalen Brunson.
They did, but I think they did a great job by not overpaying him.
Well, right.
Because you have to stay intact. I hate talking to 76ers fans, and when I'm telling them how bad Tobias is, and they're telling me, well, what are you going to do? He was going to get a max somewhere else. Well, okay. Let another dumbass team pay him the max.
Yeah, let somebody else make that mistake.
Because now Dallas has the flexibility where, they have to make this move, but they can go and make that move when it presents itself.
Yeah.
Versus Philly being stuck for 5 years with fucking Tobias.
Yeah.
And trying to offload him and nobody wants it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When I look at Dallas, it makes me think of when the Rockets had Harden and Paul.
Yeah.
Because they have different games, but they could still function as the sole creator. And so when you would go, when Harden would rest, Paul would just take over. When Paul was out, Harden would take over. Maybe there was a little uneasiness when they're both playing together, but they had enough talent to still make that work. And that was the best Rockets team we've seen.
It was, and it helps that Chris was a willing spot up shooter. I think he did a great job of altering his game. Harden didn't alter his game at all.
No.
But Chris did a good job altering his game when he was on the floor with Harden. And, that was the best Rockets team. If Chris didn't get hurt, a lot of people
may well have won.
Yeah, a lot of people
they were up 3-2 at the time in the series. And, they were a handful. You felt watching the series, they were giving the Warriors everything they could take.
Yeah, and
that was a KD Warrior team.
Yeah, yeah. So the Mavs have to find their Chris Paul. But Luka, and his defense, man, in this game, and I've read something where his defense has improved. He's moved up I think 50 spots on defensive player efficiency and rating, right, from last year to this year. And you could see it last night as well. He's not an all-world defender, but you could just see the improvements and how he dedicated himself on that end and getting himself in better shape.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, the fitness and you just can't underestimate size and intelligence.
Yeah,
and again, he knows what his limitations are. He's going to be positionally sound, and just basically stay in front of a guy and make him play over you.
Yeah,
and unless it's KD, most guys are going to find his presence something of a challenge.
There was twice in that fourth quarter where he got a steal, went right back down and shot a 3-pointer. One of them they went back to a 2. But man, and Curry has still been Curry this year. But Clay had a very rough game. What was that? Only 2 points, I think, 2 or 3 points.
Yeah, and he had a wide open 3 at the game. Watching that play, they were down 3. They have the ball on the side, a couple, maybe 4 seconds or so, and they just start moving around, and it looked like chaotic. And then you're watching it go, oh, damn, Clay's going to be open here. So he kind of moved out to the opposite wing on kind of a little flare.
Open.
Clean as you could ask for, and just missed it. You know, otherwise you're going to overtime. And at the time, the game was so fun. You wanted the shot to go in.
I wanted it to go in.
We wanted another 5 minutes of this.
Yeah.
But really entertaining game. And that's like, you know, you can watch a lot of NBA basketball. To me, there's always a handful of regular season games that as you watch them unfold, you are just kind of like, God, these guys are good. And
I mean,
that was the first game I watched extended minutes where I had that feeling this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like both teams. Like,
Same
what
here.
do you do with this? Like,
yeah.
You know,
I was like, damn, this is just some great execution, man.
Yeah.
And on the part of both teams. And we talk about Dallas, you know, the people around him. But I mean, Tim Hardaway had a really good game. Tim Hardaway Jr.
He hit a big shot in the closing minutes.
Kleber and all of those guys, the tall white guys, I call them. They're just
the Dallas White Mavericks.
Those guys are good. So yeah, man. And even Christian Wood, who has he's had a solid season. And I think they have him in the perfect position. He's playing 6 man. He's a big man. Usually teams have a guard coming in as a 6 man.
Yeah.
Dallas has him, and I think that's perfect. They want him to be the one that can man that second unit, but you just don't typically see that from a big man.
Yeah.
But he's doing good. He's doing, you know, he needs a guard on that second unit that can run pick and rolls with him.
Yeah.
He's a pick and roll type of big, and a pick and pop. He can shoot a little bit.
And the Warriors bench has been shady all year, but I thought like they rolled
What's that
Draymond.
one guy? Go ahead.
They rolled Draymond as kind of the anchor of the second unit, and you know him and Poole played well together. That group looked good last night.
The problem is the Golden State Warriors second unit. They don't have any ball handlers. All of those guys are specialists. Even Poole is he's a ISO scoreman. He's not a guy that you want really the ball in his hands to distribute at all.
And that's why I felt like Draymond in that group gave them that, and it sort of balanced that unit and allowed Poole to kind of focus on scoring.
Yeah.
And Kuminga was lively on some putback and coming off the baseline.
People ask silly questions like, oh, what does Kerr do so much different than whatever Jackson or other guy? Why is he so? But Kerr, he just consistently makes adjustments that work. You know what I mean? Like he in out of bounds plays. Even Clay missed a shot, but I mean, goddamn, how much more else do you want from a coach?
Yeah,
to get a clean
terrific
look?
play.
I mean, just consistently, Kerr is putting his players in a position to win.
Yeah,
and I think that's why, man.
Yeah,
that's why, you know. Yeah, shout out to Blu Ray, just made it in the building.
Yeah.
You might as well just come on and sit down now, man.
Yeah, we're already ready. Sit down.
Yeah, man. But, so let's go here. That was a good NBA segment here. Hold on really quick. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Nephew, man, if I had both your hands, I'd cut mine off.
Huh?
I just want the money, babe. I just want the money. I just want the money, babe. I just want the money, yeah. Like Pee-wee. You ready to get this bag? What?
Pee-wee who?
Pee-wee who? Pee-wee long way, Jit. What you mean?
Man, OG, I'm ready, man. Let's get this money.
Alright, Pete. Jit. If you want to start a business, you got to people watch. You got to see what annoyed or inconvenience people, man. And then, boom, that's your business, dog. Be the problem solver. And then, you know what I'm saying? Word gonna spread around, and then you gonna be on, for real. Yeah. We gonna get you some money, Jit. We gonna get you some money, hey, Jit. Alright, young nigga, I'm about to slide through. Alright, bet.
Alrighty, you guys are back on the bench podcast. That was a short clip from animation series that I have out, Master Jit. That is coming. Season 1, episode 2 is out this Friday on YouTube, on this very own YouTube channel here. Watch this 407. We have Blu Ray in the building. What's going on, Blue?
What's good?
All right. What's new going on?
Man, everything, man. As I get closer to getting another year older, man, I'll be putting this camera down here soon as far as what I am doing and kind of shifting gears real soon, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, of course, you've been doing a lot of video work, a lot of artists in the industry and stuff like that. What are you getting to an age, because you have a birthday coming up soon here? Are you getting to an age where you feel like, man, I haven't done enough? Because sometimes I sit back and think I'm not necessarily there yet, but it's like in the back of my brain, like.
So as I got closer, that was definitely the question that I was asking, but it kind of shifted. What can I do to expand, or what can I do? You feel me? Because I've done like all the concerts you can think of, all the nightlife events I could think of, but I did some corporate work. You get what I'm saying, for a lot of the big networks and a lot of the big brands, such as HBO, Ciroc, and different stuff like that. And I was like, I haven't done enough of that, or haven't done enough weddings, or one of the things that me and you talked about, like short films and all of the ideas that we have put together. And it really ain't nothing to it to do it. It's like I've been overthinking a lot of stuff, and I just got to do it.
Yeah. What about you, P?
Have I not? Yeah, I've lived a life of unmitigated failure. Yeah, no, I mean, I it's a complicated question, because in so many ways you look at and God, I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not doing what I maybe was born to do. And but that's my fault. I wasn't bold enough to go after things that I maybe wanted and what have you, and so I ended up doing what I'm doing. But the other side of that is like, yeah, there's been a certain measure of success in this. A certain, I've had in a lot of ways like a good life. I've met like enjoyed doing a lot of different things, met great people, and I value that. And if I had maybe pursued things differently, I wouldn't have that. I mean, it's the life that you live, and I think overthinking never helps you. I think your best thing is to live in the moment and to do. Yep. Like when I look at, I talk to younger people who are kind of at the beginning of their careers, like my kids, they're in the early 20s, and it's like, just do stuff. Like, put yourself out there. You don't know where that's going to go. But if you're 22, 25 years old, and you spend inordinate amount of time like, what am I going to do with my life? What am I? It's useless. That's wasted time, and those are prime years. Go do something. Activity, activity attracts opportunity. And if you're out trying to do things and engaging, you might be doing one thing, and then you meet somebody and it leads you into a different path. But if you're just sitting there obsessing over, am I not where I want to be in life? Or what am I going to do? What's my purpose? Fucking do something, man. Yeah. Like, seriously, don't wait. Don't, if you wait, it's never going to come.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I would say that one thing, because I try to not live with no regrets, but one thing I kind of like look back is, I wish I would have finished college, boom, right then. But it was like, at the same time, if I would have finished school, would this have happened, or would that have happened? So I can't look at it like that.
Yeah.
One thing I think about often is, for example, my school, Bethune, they do a great job of getting like people who have become successful in whatever field they're in, bringing them back, giving them whatever awards, and having them talk and things like that. What I wish they would do more is, like, there are a lot of people who graduated who are doing who just doing regular day-to-day things, like taking care of their family, influencing the youth, things like that. And I think that's important because, and I know a part of it is you're getting the big guys in so they can donate to the college, so they can make them feel important.
Feel good about
and they are doing a great job. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, to make people feel valuable in doing things that we all say that's what you're supposed to do, but that is important too, man. You are a positive influence in your community, by being an outstanding a resident, by taking care of your family, by helping out the youth and doing this and that, whether coaching or whatever it is. And I think they should highlight some of those guys as well, just so those students, they don't have to think it's boom or bust type of thing.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah, that's a legitimate thing. I mean, there are a lot of different pathways to success, and a lot of different measures of success. And some people equate it with like financial success. Some people equate it with like traveling and having these different experiences, and other people will kind of equate it with like sort of maybe a contentment of being in a family setting and doing a great job with their kids and stuff like that. And so it can be defined a lot of different ways. And one of my big pet peeves is like, and it's kind of a little bit what you're saying, like, when you're high school into your college years and you're trying to figure out what you're doing, it's hard to find real information. Like, what do people actually do that make a living?
Yeah.
You know, and what, like, if you're doing that, what does that really look like? Is that a six-figure potential, or is that something that's got a $50,000 cap on it? You know, and it's important to kind of know that when you're making these decisions, and to see what people do. Like, you could go to college and you could get out and then you get a job, and like you just may not understand what the hell a job is like that.
And
like,
also, it's like how do you gauge it?
Yeah.
You know, like the old song where Drake said, and they don't get no awards for that.
Yeah.
You successful, you taking care of your family, you was the first person to go to college, or you inspired someone else to go to college, or your kids are now going to college. You made it. But because that doesn't come with the accolades and doesn't come with this and doesn't come with that, nobody celebrates it. But, you made it. You made it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, that's true.
Chris says activity leads to opportunity. Classic, man.
I actually said that, but
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, that's a shout out to you. Shout out to Pink there.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
All right.
The way you said it made it sound like.
Oh, like I said it? No, I don't think.
Like he said it.
Oh no. No.
I'm trying to get some accolades over here.
All right, let's go to starter bench with Coach Pink. So, Blue, this is what we do. We give Pink pretty much a minute, 60 seconds to discuss some of the trending topics that's going on in sports, music, and entertainment. But this week, we're going to have you as his assistant so he can pitch any of these topics to you for you to talk about if you like. And then afterwards, I'll get to judge both of you guys on your
I
your
like
comments
this wrinkle.
there.
Very
Yeah,
nice
there
wrinkle.
you go. I try to throw in a couple.
Bubba's out here evolving.
That's what I try to do, man.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, so let me get my clock ready. Pink says I'll never have my clock ready.
You never do have your clock ready.
All right. First topic is, as you can see at the big screen down there. So we'll go with old school NBA guys who doesn't want it to be over. Start a bench.
I'll start it.
Yeah, so there is a engagement report that Carmelo, DeMarcus, Isaiah, and Dwight Howard is determined to return to the NBA. We know that Dwight is destroying guys over in
Taiwan.
Yeah, in Taiwan, and putting up huge numbers. Carmelo, DeMarcus, and Isaiah, they're just working out and fielding calls, waiting on injuries, things like that. Do you think it's time for them to retire, or can they see themselves on the team soon?
I think that this is just sort of a reality check for those guys. I love to play. I respect them trying to continue to play, and I wish that they find an opportunity. But the reality is, you're not.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're not.
Ray scoot over.
Oh, okay. You're not. You're not really marketable. I mean, no team is looking for what you have to offer, and that becomes the reality. You're the veteran presence can only go so far. And I think all of those guys suffer from, at one point or another, being, kind of stars. And there's this equation of like, well, how can that guy be a role player? And Vince Carter, to his credit, is like the guy who figured that out. Because they literally played for 20 plus years and always had a job, and he probably could have played another 2 or 3 years, and somebody would have offered him a contract.
Right.
I don't know these guys personally. Bob Myers was on a podcast the other day, and he was kind of talking a little bit about DeMarcus Cousins and the reputation he has in the league, and that's probably why he's not done that. But it is what it is, man. They're in a tough spot. I feel bad for them, but it's like, what are they bringing to the table that's unique and necessary?
Gotcha. All right, Drake, start a bench.
I'll start Drake. I like him.
Drake says that this new album we're here with 21 is in his top 5, better yet, top 3 of his albums.
Of his career.
In his career.
You were a big fan of the album, so.
Yeah.
I do think that there's a recency bias, though. And I think, he just completed the project. It's released. He wants to promote it. I mean, what is he going to tell us? This is like my 12th best album. Please stream anyway. You got to kind of say that. It's like the 35-year-old guy in the NFL at training camp going, hey, man, I've never felt better in my life. Well, we sure as hell saw you play better.
If that is true, which it's not. Which albums did you push out to put that mediocrity?
I think it could sneak in top 5. It can't be in the top 3. I think if a person was to make a list, it could sneak into the top 5, but not top 3. I think it has some of that what Pink is saying. They're out. 21 is saying a bunch of wild stuff. Drake is saying, but matter of fact, 21 wild statement got him a feature with Nas. So it's just everything's just working out for these guys.
The reason it's not top 5 is because of 21 Savage.
I think Drake brought out one of the best versions of 21 that 21 could be. Like, you know what I mean? Like his ceiling was hit on this album. Whether he's a good or not, his ceiling was hit on this album.
Okay.
Right?
That's for him, right?
Yeah, for him.
So he went here.
Yes.
Drake came here for the project.
He drug him down.
The creativity wasn't there. The production wasn't there.
Production was okay. Creativity, no.
So it was like Drake's bars were oversimplified.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he could have completely washed 21 on the project.
Yeah.
He was
very mindful not to.
For pop culture, it gave him something, but this is a forgettable project.
No, it won't be forgotten. Because the one with him and Future was forgotten. Like, this was better than that one.
Heck no.
Yes, man. Way better.
Okay, does it make sense to do a whole project with another artist?
A mixtape? I can see.
Yeah,
I can see a reason why, but giving someone a complete album or EP, like they're doing shorter projects, a collaborative project, I definitely see the benefits of it. Like Drake always is going to tap into what's hot and what's going to extend.
That's kind of.
But 21 wasn't even like he wasn't as hot as he has ever been. So this was a little different for Drake. I think it has a lot to do with their friendship.
21 wasn't hot as far as trending wise.
Right.
But you got to look. 21 also has a different market.
Oh yeah,
a different fan base, and nobody has really heard him, like really heard him, been exposed to them after that, like the deportation situation.
How much do you think it had? And we were way past a minute, but this is a good topic. How much of it do you think is that Drake dropped the emo album, and hip hop was down on him? So let me go get one of the most street artists as far as music is concerned, and let's make an album with him. You know that we're friends, but and let me show hip hop. Hey, I'm still here now. Like I can still do this.
Yeah,
and
I wholeheartedly agree.
And 21 is tapped into that market.
I wholeheartedly agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, at the end of the day, what are we saying? This is basically a marketing project, not a musical project.
Yeah,
I agree.
And that's not
It's a
good.
gimmick.
And I think though, and to the point, I just want to finish the full circle on this. I don't think doing a whole project with another artist is the way to go. When you make maybe a small couple songs or a song, the collaboration, the sound, the combination is fresh, it's lively, it's new. When you crank out 10, 12, 15 songs, it gets old.
It works for contemporaries. It works like if it's like two young guys or two old guys. You know, like it works with two guys in the same weight class. But yeah, when it's Drake and it's
but I don't think it works for a whole project.
I think it does. It has.
The danger of it is two things. Somebody got to be Batman. Somebody got to be Robin.
Yeah,
we talked about that.
We talked about that.
It's going to propel somebody, and then somebody's going to leave the scene.
Yeah,
it's not going to push both artists here. It's not going to do it. I don't believe so.
Well, the only way is maybe if you're in the same weight class and you're in the same early phase of the career.
Yeah, like Dirk and Baby. Like Dirk and Baby project, that didn't hurt or do anything to anybody. It was just a good fun project. I mean, nobody took it, serious.
Where did Baby go after that, and where did Dirk go?
Well, Dirk is always gonna be Dirk. He's gonna get his features. He's gonna Lil Baby's a star. Dirk not a star.
Where did Baby go after that project?
I'm not a Dirk fan, so maybe that was a bad example. I'm just not a Dirk guy, so I'm not gonna say any. I don't listen to him. So, all right. Next, let's go next. Glorilla, start a bench.
I'm gonna leave that one for Blu Ray.
You want to start a bench Glorilla here?
I'm bench Glorilla.
So what you want me to start it?
It's up to you.
I'll do it.
Huh?
Let's do
Okay.
it.
So Glorilla warns women not to fall for guys in the club. He's only looking for hoes. He ain't looking for love. Go.
It's free game. I mean, that's excellent advice. Nobody is going to the club like, man, I think I'm gonna find the woman of my dreams tonight. And I have yet to hear happily ever after
from the club.
I've heard some odd happily ever afters, but me personally, and especially the clubs I work in, I haven't heard a happily ever after. I think that's free game. Like, people overlook her a lot, but she be spitting, bro. She be telling that's facts to me. I would never tell my son, "Hey son, if you want to find you a wife,
and go to the club.
Go to the club." I would never tell my son.
That's just about as basic as the sky is blue.
One of my exes came from the club.
But you ain't still together.
Exactly.
Well, there's no happily ever after.
Yeah, that
You gonna leave
that was on me, not her. Okay, that's good. Okay, Casey Anthony, start a bench.
Oh God, I don't know. I'll start her because you put her up there, not because I want to.
Well, of course, her new documentary is out. People are watching it. People are talking about it.
Is it like her document? Like she's the creative force behind it, or somebody made a documentary about her?
She's she's a part of it. She's not behind it as far as whatever.
But it's gonna portray her in a positive light.
It had it's part in part. So series by series, show by show.
Please tell me this is not one of those if I did do it type thing.
Oh, like OJ with if I did murder my wife. Here's a few ideas on how that would get done.
Well, do you have plans to check it out?
No. I'll never watch a minute of it. I don't care. Like, she murdered a kid.
You think she did?
Unequivocally. Who the fuck else did it?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. When there's a dead person, somebody had to have done it, and somebody had to have motivation or opportunity.
Yeah.
And she was the only one. I mean, it's ridiculous. Plus, her whole behavior afterward. I mean, she really felt liberated once the kid was dead. Yeah. That's telling, man. Behavior tells you the story.
Yeah.
Behavior always tells the story. And if you pay attention to it, you'll know what happened.
Yeah.
She killed a kid. We don't need a whole documentary and Netflix and all this other shit to tell us that.
It's just they couldn't 100% convince the jury that
that's what happened.
People are fucking stupid. I talked about this before. I think sequestered juries in long trials are an absolute disaster. You get Stockholm syndrome. You get stuck in this like weird altered reality that's not your reality. You lose touch of the touchstones that give you your balance and equilibrium in life and thought, and you're in this altered environment. And then to get an odd or weird result, that's not surprising.
So real quick question.
Go ahead.
You spoke about juries. A lawyer goes to school about, 6 to 8 years?
Not me. It was 3. No, well, you get an undergrad degree, 4 years, and then law school itself is 3 years.
Okay. Then you hang the trial on people who some went past high school.
You're talking about
you put the trial on anybody in the state of Florida, anybody who has a driver's license. And here's one more. Anyone who has a driver's license, and in practical fact, anyone who's not smart enough to avoid jury duty. Like, it's easy to avoid.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, I hate the police. I'm not going to care about anything they say no matter what they say. Well, sir, you're disqualified. Thank you for coming. It's easy. Or I don't like insurance companies. I got screwed when my car got wrecked. Well, whatever they say, I don't give a damn. You're out. Nobody's keeping you.
We got to move on time, man. We got to move on. Elb says she absolutely killed her daughter. So that's the one comment there. Will Smith, start a bench.
Ebony, you're guilty?
Start a bench, Will Smith, man.
Oh, God. Can we just slap him? Go ahead. I mean, this is just such a tired subject. He's like the whore taking a 10th dick at a gangbang.
Oh my God.
That's what he is. He has nothing left to offer.
Well, he's out doing rounds. He's out doing his interviews. He had one.
Sure is doing rounds.
Recently with Trevor Noah, and because he has the movie Emancipation coming out.
Exactly.
And he was saying how he understands if people are not going or do not want to go out and watch the movie because of what happened. Will that keep you from watching the movie of him because he slapped Chris Rock on a?
To be honest, it might.
Yeah.
I'm not excited to watch him do anything. And so, I mean, we did talk earlier, like the character that he's playing is somewhat intriguing as far as, like, you know, I've seen the picture, and part of me wants to know a little bit more of that man's history, and if it's well told. But I've not liked Will Smith as an actor, like, almost ever. You know, so maybe Hitch was the high point of his career. The rest of it was a bunch of sci-fi bullshit. I didn't think he did a good job as Muhammad Ali. And I love Muhammad Ali. I didn't think he did that justice. He was, you know, we could have had somebody else do that. So for me, he's not a particularly great actor. And I think, like he said now, he's a tired, used-up whore.
I'm a Will Smith guy. I like him.
What do you like about him?
His acting. I like his acting.
Like what? Like most of his career is like these bad sci-fi.
Well, I'm a huge sci-fi guy.
Really? I didn't know that about you.
Well, I'm a huge everything guy. I'm in every genre.
Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Brokeback Mountain guy.
So iRobot, all of that good stuff. I'm there, man.
Yes, I could not.
But I was there for Hitch. I was there for Fresh Prince. I was there for all of that stuff. When he had to kiss a man in one of his first major roles. I was there, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, maybe he should have kissed Chris instead of slapped him.
We all gonna be honest though. Will Smith hasn't had the best movie roles. The best movie
that's
opportunity.
my gripe.
He just hasn't, bro.
But
he hasn't been casted for the big part.
But my thing is, there was a story like years and years ago that they looked, him and his team and whatever, they looked at like what are the highest grossing box office movies of all time. And at that time, the list was dominated by sci-fi movies. And then that's when he kind of geared the big chunk of kind of almost the prime of his career to doing your iRobots and those other movies.
Now I understand.
And that like when he went there, he lost me. Those are not compelling to me. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I disagree on the Will Smith one. All right. So you have that.
He's your guy, man.
I like Will Smith. As far as,
but you like him as a guy though, because he seems utterly corny.
I have to go off the acting in movies. I wasn't a huge fan of his rapping. I'll tell you that.
Who was? Find me that guy.
Oh, we did have one more. Oh, hold on, I missed one.
Leave no clip behind.
Yeah. So Don Toliver, who is a rapper, but it's really his comments about using bots to boost YouTube stats, and that's a big thing now because also oh my gosh, one of the big NBA YoungBoy was just accused of that as well, and a lot of these artists are being accused of that. What is your quick take on that?
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna stand down.
This is gonna prove that he's lying, first of all.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
A lot of times you hear artists, or when referring to artists that are signed to these big labels, you hear they're going to put the machine behind them.
Mm-hmm.
What is the machine? The machine is what generates the plays. The machine is what gets you on these playlists. The machine is what gets you the views and the comments. A blind man can see that those comments are fake. And they are identical between those two. They're identical, man. So you know, like, say for instance, if I was to put a video out there right now, a music video, you're not gonna see none one of them comments. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But what are the odds that two major artists are signed and both of them had those same comments? Oh, I've never used bots, or what he said. Yeah, you may not never use them, but what is your label doing?
Right.
How are they garnering the views? And bro, you can see. Let's take Instagram for instance. You can look on Instagram and see who has fake followers, whose numbers are inflated. But people don't care because the first thing they want to see when they go to your profile, do you have a blue check and how many followers?
Mm-hmm.
That's all they want to see. But most of them followers are fake. I seen a guy, a local guy, go call his name. Monday night, 300 followers. That Friday, he had like 13.5. The next week, he had like 40 or 50,000 followers. Nobody knows who this guy is, right? Boom. So everybody like, man, y'all see such. I said, okay, cool. I said, go to his followers real quick. I said, just pick any 10, just any random 10, right? And they picked the 10. And it was like, man, who are these? Who are these people? Some of them didn't have a post. Some of them had one post.
Oh,
the name was just,
okay.
man. I say, all right. Now you take your judgment from there.
Right.
But that's the way the game is played. I need to have the appearance of looking like all these people. And once all these people will see that other people, I can jump on it then. I can have the best record in the world, but it can have 1 view and somebody won't play it.
Yeah.
But if I have the best record in the world and they got 1 million views or 10,000 or whatever, however, they might give it a look.
Oh, yeah.
The larger the numbers, the easier it is for somebody else to jump on. People want to do what everybody else is doing. Nobody wants to be the, I discovered this guy, or I was with him man. No, nobody. They want the person that's trending.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And that's also why like so much stuff that gets viral is just bad content.
Yeah,
it's bad music. It's unfunny comedy. It's just dog shit.
Yeah.
And like we're just idiots. We just accept these things and like, everyone's like, I better check that out. It's viral. Yeah.
Yeah, they've made us into idiots, man.
They really have.
Yeah. All righty here. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We have Blu Ray in the building. And I'll tell you what, let's go to a clip with 50 Cent. So 50 Cent is in his interview, and they're talking about, he's comparing Eminem and Tupac as far as the
one dead, one alive.
No, how we receive them. When Eminem has this cloud over him that when he talks about, his mom, or he talks about his daughter, things like that, and self-harm and stuff like that, is taken differently than when another artist, and he just, picked Tupac, and he's going over these lyrics, and then he goes on in this interview to talk about how much Eminem has done for him in a positive light, and how he loves him, and this and that. So let me play the clip real quick here.
Eminem's mom, the drug usage was a part of it, and he would do, sorry, mama, I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. And then Tupac's mom also had some drug usage and shit involved in her experience. And he said, even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. Mm-hmm. And I think the tones of anger and the difference in the two of them, and the artists, are M's anger is coming from things were supposed to be right. And Tupac's statement is almost like terms of endearment in it, because it's like, well, we always was still all I had. You see what I'm saying? So I think the expectations of things going right from a white American perspective versus things accepting the idea of things not going right from African American perspective are what make the difference in the tones in those records. You see what I'm saying? And it's both the same scenario, but different ways of expressing the experience because of the difference in the two artists.
Go ahead. We can react to it.
I like that a lot. I thought that was pretty profound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, like you can, there are things that as a white person, you kind of, when you stop and think about it, there's a certain degree of like white privilege. It exists. It's a real thing, and a lot of white people go around and think, well, I had a hard time, so I'm not privileged. But there are certain things that you don't have to deal with at all when you're white. And kind of where he's going with that, as I'm reading it, it's like, with Eminem, you're kind of expect things to be perfect and they're not, and you're angry about it. And from the black perspective, and I can't 100% say that, but what he's saying is that, you kind of know things are fucked up and you try and make them perfect. And that's why you go with the black queen line, even though you're a drug fiend. I mean, like, that's, where Eminem is in a white situation is like, bitch, you're just crazy. I'm cleaning it up. and it's okay to say, and it is. To me, it was very insightful comment and a lot of like the subtle perspective that you have life with.
50 Cent has been an Eminem apologetic forever. for one, I don't care who it is, who mama it was. You feel me? Like certain things, I feel that you don't. I don't care what my mama went through. That's just something I wouldn't put out there in the public. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
so I that tone and anger.
I get there's a decision to do that or not do that. I didn't read it. I mean, I know he's always been supportive of Eminem. I didn't read that. I just took that statement in a vacuum, in two different perspectives on it, and to me there was some clarity to that, some insight into that, and just took it at that. But I understand what you're saying.
I would just get like, oh, okay, 50. I'm gonna go get who a lot of black people held as their greatest rapper, and I'm gonna say, well, Eminem said the same thing, and it was no purpose because.
You mean Tupac? You said 50, but you meant Tupac.
No, I'm saying 50 Cent went and grabbed Tupac's name.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And grabbed Eminem. You didn't have to do it like that comparison because it hadn't been made. Because if you look at what Eminem did as far as a numerical standpoint, it's ridiculous. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like what was even the purpose of that statement? But you know what I'm saying? I like Pink said, I can understand where we're coming from, but it's like whatever. Yeah, it's like whatever.
I thought it was interesting for him to do, especially because there's such a divide because you're either an Eminem like super fan and love his music, his bars, and his rapping ability, or you just think he's like really overrated, and there's not really any middle ground. And a lot of that sense of him being overrated comes from his content and like 50 is saying, the way that his anger and tone towards his mom or towards his baby mama or towards his daughter, it's a couple times, you know what I mean? It's like, and it was just wow. It's like this is the type of music you guys like. You think this guy is top 5 all time type of thing, and this is just 50, just another time of him. Like he's saying, like Ray said, kind of apologizing like for him, and like, hey, here goes an example. Here goes Tupac. You guys love Tupac, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's doing the same thing. He's just different because they're in different communities. I think he did it for what he's tried to do. He did a good job of it.
It's really weird because I just totally heard it differently than you guys did.
Yeah.
I did not read that as I'm trying to prop up Eminem. I didn't read it.
The only reason I read it that way. Because that's like the second or third statement in the last 2 or 3 years that he's going on do. Well, y'all say Eminem this? Well, he'll go grab. And I forgot who was the last comparison it was, but it was somebody else. You get what I'm saying? But I'll stay away from the critique of the two because even though I'm not a fan of Eminem as an artist, because I feel that he's pure shock value, I honestly think he did enough musically to where he didn't have to always rely on speaking about his mom as, you know, in her situation. The same for Tupac. You get what I'm saying? You got 1,000 records where he doesn't mention the same for Eminem. You got that. So it's like, you feel me? Like, I'm still like, you know, you ain't have to say that.
No, that's true. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. We're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that great stuff. We have Blu Ray here, sitting here with us. So I'll tell you where we go next. I'm going to go to my top 5 here. And every once in a while, I have to let you guys know what I'm watching. I am a huge TV show series and movie person. You know, I have inspirations of writing and directing my own shows. So I take my time, and that's what I do. I watch these things, and I'm in every genre. I love every genre, so you'll notice that most of my top 5s have multiple genres in it, so you will not be left out here. All right, top 5 shows that Bubba's watching right now. I'll tell you what, at number 5, right, I'm going to go with a mix of 2 shows here because they're new and I haven't quite watched them yet, all right? But they're getting a lot of buzz. One is Sex Lives of College Girls. Now, this is a show that you can tell by the title. I'm probably going to get to it.
Brings back the old days.
I'll probably get to it.
You were a significant part of that.
I'll probably get to it sooner than later. All right, and but it's getting a lot of buzz.
You haven't
media.
Watched it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
Sex Lives of College Girls.
Do you know? Is this like a reality type thing, or is
No,
it a scripted show?
It's a scripted show.
Okay.
And things like that. So it's supposed to be really good. And then I'm going to tie that with All of Us Are Dead. Now, 2 totally completely different shows, as you can tell by the titles. But I put All of Us Are Dead here because I was a little late to that train. This is a show that was released a few months ago, or maybe even earlier, towards the earlier part of this year. All right. But All of Us Are Dead it's a 5-star show. All right. Especially if you're into the zombie world. All right, that's the type of show it is.
Check,
and there's a lot of
please.
people into that genre.
Check, please.
And if you're into that genre, you probably have already seen it. If not, you have to go check this show out. It's one of the best in this genre, I'm telling you. All right. Number 4, I'm going to go to animation here. Don't have a picture up, but it's called Big Mouth. Big Mouth just released its latest season. All right, it's on Netflix, and Big Mouth is a animation. It's from animation folks. It's just it's a comedy, pure comedy. It's fucking hilarious, and it's of course telling these children as they're like going into puberty and leading out of puberty and all that stuff. So they have these hormone monsters and and things like that. So that's number 4, Big Mouth. Number 3 is Atlanta, ATL, man.
Rest in peace.
What, to the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. So over there had their season.
Wasn't this in your last top 5?
A couple ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the new, this is for the new season, and then they had, of course, their season. Help me out here. Their season finale.
Series finale.
Yeah. Series finale there. And if you haven't watched it, I mean, it's like a comedy drama, but it also has these pieces in between, like in the series, that have these independent shows pieces that really have nothing to do with the actual show, but they're like timeless pieces, man. For example, Atlanta, the show is about a rapper, Paperboy, and he's on the come up, and his cousin is managing him, right? But they'll have these independent shows where it's like they'll follow this. Like one was about this Trinidadian lady, and the Trinidadian lady was a maid for this white couple. She passed away, but it was about all the Trinidadian customs, the funeral and the language and the food and all of that stuff had nothing to do with ATL, the show.
I don't like when shows do that.
But this is it's amazing when they do it here, and they have these different ones, and I don't think they missed on either one of them.
Okay.
And it's just it's a good show,
bro. It's the most complete random show, but it's brilliantly written.
It's brilliantly written. I think that's why I love it so much, because the writing is just phenomenal. Oh, and shout out to I wrote this down here, Lakeith. Lakeith is a growing actor. He's becoming a monster. He's not a monster yet, but he's becoming that. He's a growing actor. Lakeith, his name is Darius on that show. But I'm seeing him in other films and other shows.
He was the rat in Judas and the Black Messiah, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's really good. All right. Number 2 is called The Devil's Hour. This show, not a show for Blu Ray, but this is a horror. And when they say horror is gone, it's not, man. It's back.
It's gone in my house.
This show is off the chain, man. If you're into this type of stuff, you have to be into it now. But this show is crazy, and I don't know where y'all getting these child actors from, but this boy in this movie, he's on another fucking level, man. And the girl from the number 1 that I got. But just speaking on this boy here, The Devil's Hour, this I've never seen any acting job like this from a boy ever. All right, you got to check it out. Like I said, it's horror. It's really good. All right, The Devil's Hour. Number 1 is Wednesday. All right, and Wednesday is actually on Netflix now. That's like the number 1 trending show right now. And it's from the Addams family. It's the little girl. She basically has her own show now, Wednesday, and it is brilliantly written. This is another like phenomenal acting job by a little girl. Like I said, I don't know where they're getting these people from, but she's just on I haven't seen it, and it's about their stoic behavior, demeanor from scene to scene. It never fails. And I know, like, she's not writing her lines, but it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. You have to, if you haven't seen it, you like, if you guys are watching, let me know, am I going crazy or not? Because this girl here, her acting skills are just off the charts, scene to scene. All right, and it's a really great show.
I'm
Wednesday
ask you
Addams.
something real quick, brother.
What happened?
So you got All of Us Are Dead.
Yes, that's a Korean show, and about zombies.
You got The Devil's Hour.
The Devil's Hour.
You got Wednesday.
I got Wednesday.
And you got Atlanta.
And Big Mouth.
And Big Mouth. So other than Big Mouth, you got 4 dark shows, brother.
Atlanta's not a dark show. Atlanta is a comedy drama. It's a dramedy. That's what it's labeled at. I'm just telling you what. You go to Google, what Google gonna tell you. They got some shows. They have some. But what it is a comedy drama.
Atlanta is not dark.
No, they got a moment or two.
Well, compared to the rest of the stuff on his
yeah,
list.
yeah. Compared to the other two, it's Sunshine and Daytona Beach.
3 or 4 of their last episodes.
Yeah, they got
was about death, brother.
Yeah,
and funerals.
Yeah, but it's not what these other shows are.
All I want to ask you,
it's about what's right now.
Are you okay, man?
I'm not making these shows. They decided to come out with them around this time.
This is all I want to know, man.
Yeah, but you're attracted to them for a reason.
They're good.
Are you okay, brother?
He's not the bottom of the barrel in these categories.
You like a comedy guy, like you get real serious with your tone. Bro.
I'm an everything guy.
No, when I say this,
next
when
Wednesday
I say comedy,
we're gonna have an
your
intervention.
personality, you funny. You get what I'm saying? I just can't see you sitting up there
comedy.
and watching a lot of. Like that's crazy. Like I tricked myself into watching that Netflix show, the $18.99. Has anybody seen that?
That was supposed to be like a part of my 5. Because there's a lot of buzz going on about that show too,
and I'm glad you left it out.
Yeah. It's really not my thing.
It looked weird to me,
bro.
Yeah.
Every one of these shit. I mean, I wouldn't really watch any of them.
Pink. Maybe Sex Lives of College Girls.
Maybe.
If but I don't know about anything else.
Does it have a lot of nudity?
I haven't watched it yet.
Well.
But
report back.
Yeah, I'll
week.
report back to you.
Then I might tune it in. Between Pornhub viewings.
This man crazy.
Hey, let's mix it up a little bit.
Chris said, "Yeah, Atlanta was on my last list." Yes, but that was the last season. You come out with a fire season, you're gonna come back. You're back on the list.
Hey, Chris, chill out. Atlanta deserves all the flowers.
But there are a couple of shows like that I'm mad at. For example, Dead to Me. Right?
There go another one.
No. That was a show that was really good, but there's one of those shows that me and Pete talks about where they came out with a new season and they just shouldn't have. They just really shouldn't have. It ran its course. They could have left it as B, and it was really not a good series. And all of the comments and stuff, they ring that to be true. So I'm glad I'm not going crazy. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, and that was in one of my previous lists as well. So yeah, but if you come out with another fire season, you make it back on the list.
You need to be like Bubba's Dark 5.
I think he's trying to tell us something. I'm just trying to figure out what he's trying to tell us.
Trying to tell me something. No, man, no. So that's it, man. So that's y'all guys' take on the list. It's just dark.
Yeah, I mean, I might watch an episode of Atlanta, but I don't think I'm watching anything else on that list.
I've heard great things about those shows, but like you said, some of them I ain't even.
But I mean, like you see, like when you're scrolling through the Netflix, like you see that little thumbnail, or sometimes they give you the little clip, and it's like, that's got to get me or not, and I'm, if it doesn't get me, I'm good. Move on to the next thing.
That's why those things are so important, man. Those like little 1-minute trailers or whatever 30-second trailers that they put on Netflix, because people are watching that, and that's determining whether they're gonna watch this thing. Or
you're
not,
sitting
man.
there. Am I gonna pull the trigger on this?
Yeah. Shout out to hold on, we got a couple comments here. We got Coach Bruder says, comedy comes from a dark place.
It usually does. That's true. It does. That's true, though.
What?
Comedy comes from a dark place. Yeah. I agree with that. A lot of comics are depressed.
Yeah.
Like,
matter of fact,
real.
I just watched Deion Cole's his newest stand-up is on Netflix. At the very end of the show, he kind of talked about that. He was saying how you just when you're going out to a comedy show, you're watching it. Just really, if you're there live, support, laugh, all that stuff, because you never know what a comedian is going through. Somebody just lost their mom, or just lost a grandparent, whatever it is, or lost their wife, or got divorced, or whatever it is. And a lot of the comedy, a lot of those jokes are coming from those, darker places in
Place
their
of pain.
lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
when
don't
they
care
tell a
what
joke-
you're going through. Make me laugh.
I
ain't being funny.
No, but sometimes that's the fuel for the laughter.
Yeah.
You see things in a certain way, and it's kind of a dark place. And comedy, good comedy, you're speaking truths that people are afraid to say.
Comedy itself is an art form, and I
Yeah.
love it because some people take I won't say some. All take different approaches to it.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all of it isn't meant to make you laugh. Take Dave Chappelle for instance. Some
yeah.
of the stuff is meant to inform, is meant to make you think. So I can kind of feel where y'all coming from.
Yeah. But even the funny stuff, it can come from like a dark place, a dark experience. But you
make
spin it
light
and you
of
make
it.
it make light of it, And what a lot of times what makes it funny is somebody is making light of something that is otherwise horrible.
Not supposed to be funny.
I mean, to me, comedy is always kind of going to be the counter flow of what's going on. Like, it's not even comedy, but you think it's like, I'm going to rip a fart at a chili contest. That's not that funny. Now, I'm going to rip a fart in church, much funnier. It's the setting, you know? And it's like, I can't believe that guy just did that in church,
Absolutely. I agree.
I'll say this, then move on to another special on Netflix, and I just stumbled across it. David Arnold. You ever heard of him?
No.
He has one of the best stand-ups on the market right now, and he released that. They released that on Netflix, and he passed away like a week or two afterwards. That's not funny, man.
Oh my God.
It's gracious live, man.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
I give you my.
I don't know if it was a week or two. Because I caught on a little late, so it maybe have been a month.
I mean, his check might not have cleared.
But
come on.
But that
crazy.
It's like a mixture of it's fucking phenomenal. Not only is it funny, but it has these moments in there, man, where you fucking shiver, and you just don't have that. Like Dave Chappelle is like he has that going, but this guy like he makes you really shiver in moments, and it's funny. David Arnold.
ARNOLD?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to watch it.
It's in Netflix for currently.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is his most previous one because he has like 2 or 3 on there, but it's his most recent one. Because I watched the other ones and they are good, but the last one, man, is 5 stars. I guarantee it. And that's for anybody who likes any kind of comedy. I don't have to label it like, well, you might not like it. Nah, if you like stand-up comedy of any fashion, that's it. All right, David Arnold. Moving on. Of course, from week to week, we like to touch on JSU and what's going on there and updating you guys. We support HBCUs here on this channel.
Probably more than Deion at this point.
Oh my God.
God damn.
So shout out to Chucky Atkins. I got into a Facebook spat with him because he doesn't like Joel Embiid. But Chucky Atkins is a former NBA player. And also, I'm pretty sure he went to USF.
Yeah.
So he has ties to USF. And here it goes. Breaking news, he writes. I have 2 sources, 2, not 1, 2, telling me that
make it true.
that Deion Sanders, and it's real because he tagged Deion. So, and this is a guy, Chucky, who has some clout. So Deion may see this. He said Deion was in the USF football facility this morning, and the deal is 90% done. Money and control were issues, but big boosters have stepped up. Deal expected, 5 years, $25 million range. Would be grand slam hire for USF. Wow.
USF has big boosters? I didn't know that.
Where they been all this time?
Where they been all this time?
Rubbing and waiting.
We're saving.
Yeah.
We're saving for Deion. Come on, man. This just smack. I mean, all right. Anything saying 90% done is bullshit.
Yeah.
I just, it's either done or it's not done. That's the way it is. Yeah. Hey, I kind of fucked her. That's just not how it goes. So, but this whole Deion thing, and apparently, he's gonna pick a college on Saturday, like signing day.
Right.
And it's USF, and they're big boosters. Cincinnati, Luke Fickell just left, Colorado, or possibly stay at JSU.
Right.
We've talked ad nauseum about Deion, and I love what he's done so far. But if he goes to the USF Bulls, the Cincinnati Bearcats, or the Colorado Boulder Buffalo fuckers, or whatever they are, I'm fucking embarrassed for him.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like, these are just average jobs. And I get, hey, you're Deion, and you're going to bring Travis and your kids with you and whatever. But these are just bad jobs, man.
They really are.
I mean, USF is just fucked on the conference thing. What conference are they in,
Yeah.
Pop Warner 5? I mean, like, they're I just don't get it.
All right, so my question would be, right, what is the end game? Like, Deion talks at length about JSU. Like, you really leaving them in a terrible situation. I know his goal isn't to stay at JSU, but if you're going to leave JSU for some bull crap,
yeah,
what you running from, Deion?
I agree. That's the thing. I mean, always, like, once I saw, like, his power as a coach and recruiter, I realized, hey, this guy could be Power 5. He could reach a point where it's like, I want to go win a natty. And I know I can't really do it at JSU. So I'm going to go to a job where I could do that. You're not going to a job that can do that. So I don't understand the move.
Yeah.
You've been on a mission to raise the profile of HBCU football. And to me, the end game there, the progression that I kind of foresaw is that you get to a point where, and he's moving that way, where you get a game or two against big schools and maybe beat them. Or at least play well enough that you're like, damn, this guy can do this. And then you go get your Power 5 job and go win a natty. This is like, what's going to happen? If he leaves on Saturday, there will probably be 40 kids in the portal from JSU as soon as possible.
You know what happens to me? The reason all the allure is right there, the reason the mystique is there, because he's being very successful at a very small school.
Right.
You go to a mediocre school, or even a big school, right, and you're mediocre, nothing changes, bro.
Right.
Nothing. And then, so to me, if you look in recent years, I think Cincinnati was good. What was that last year?
Well, they're in the Final Four last year,
So that's the better, but Cincinnati, bro.
He played for the Reds.
Like,
is that the time?
I just thought. I mean, he did play for the Reds. He's familiar with the city.
I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna leave JSU, and I got the top celebrities and actors and all that coming down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Jackson State. You feel me? And I leave and I go to Cincinnati, Colorado, bro.
Yeah. Any of the schools that are in the mix right now, it makes no sense.
This is what and this is my point, that, like, you go to USF and you turn around and you put them in the whatever, the playoffs or whatever your goal is. Yeah, that is big, but changing the HBCU culture is bigger than that. Yep. Like in order for him to leave, just in my opinion, man, it should just be for a, like, Auburn would have been okay.
Ideal.
I got you. You want to leave JSU for Auburn, okay? But they just hired a coach, right? Yesterday, the day before.
Hugh Freeze.
Yeah. So if it's a job like that, okay, man. But USF, Colorado, these guys, like you guys are saying, man, it's not worth leaving what you're building at JSU for these schools, because now you go to USF, and I know you're thinking you're from Florida, this is whatever, and you can get these Florida guys to come to that school, and also in his mind they probably have a bigger bankroll than JSU. I'm sure he feels handicap is not the word, but I'm sure he feels restricted at times, because of the funds.
With them two missing toes, he is handicapped.
With the funds, they probably don't have the funds for him to go out on these recruiting trails and for him to do what he really wants to do. And I know that. So that's why that makes sense when Chucky says, the remaining issues are control and money. Not money for his contract. I'm sure it's about the money that he can put into, like, his coaching staff, his recruiting efforts, things that JSU just doesn't have.
Well, I mean,
allocated funds.
All the big programs that win, the Alabamas and Ohio States and these places, they are literally just outspending everybody.
Yes. Have been.
I mean, they pay the head coach at Princely some. They pay the staff a ton. They have analysts and shadow staff people out the ass.
Yeah.
And they've got everything covered, the bells and whistles with all the facilities. They've got the NIL stuff going. And that's college football. Like but don't go to just a mediocre team. And they don't have the resources to do that. I mean, in some weird way, is he psychologically trying to replicate like the underdog thing? You know, I did it at JSU. I could do it anywhere. And, you know, in a couple years, I'll, you know, be beating, you know, Clemson and Alabama or whatever the hell. I mean, is that really what you want, man? Like, you know, go just, you know, dude, finish the job at JSU. Get them to where they should be, where you can take them. And nobody's done it before, but you do it now.
Yeah, because these jobs are going to be here. Like, you're going to keep dominating JSU. Yeah. You're going to keep dominating.
South Florida changes coaches about as frequently as a chick changes tampons.
Yikes.
That's true.
And like you said, bro, what conference do they play in?
I don't even know. I think they're in the one that UCF is leaving.
My daddy's belt or something like that.
my daddy's belt. No, seriously. So we'll see where this goes. Chucky, maybe he has this.
Well, but this is beyond Chucky. I mean, there's other sources, you know, and other people saying he's supposed to be making a decision, you know, this weekend about where he's going to go.
Was saying Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. I heard.
That's
Cincinnati. I just heard about recently, like today, like on the way into the show. Which I mean, again, football wise, program wise, this Cincinnati's probably ahead of any of those other options as far as they were in the Final Four last year. They've produced some NFL players recently, and you know they actually I think they had a winning season, and I don't know why their coach is leaving there to go to fucking Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And eat cheese and fucking bang white cows.
Yeah, well, we'll see what this unfolds, and by next show, maybe he has made a decision by then.
Supposedly he is. Supposedly this weekend there's supposed to be something, you know. But and we talked about this a little before that we got going. The fact that he's let this go this far with these schools is bad for even if he stays at JSU.
Yeah.
You know, because I think I think you're naive to think he would never leave. But, like, it really sets the tone of, like, yeah, we know if he's going to entertain these guys, like, when the next level up comes, he's clearly gone.
Clearly.
You know, and we're saying, like you know, he's got incredible momentum there, and, you know, this would affect recruiting. Even if he stays, it's going to be like, hey, how comfortable are we with this? It'll affect the transfer portal. And, you know, I mentioned before the show, 4 or 5 star guy for FSU entered the portal as a defensive back, and immediately the FSU people, hey, watch out, he might end up at JSU, whatever. But you know, he's just completed his freshman year. If he goes there and Deion's gone in a year or two, it's not worth the move.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to think longer term and say, all right, you know, I got to be in college for at least another 2 years.
Yeah.
Let me go somewhere where, you know, I'm going to be able to play and be significant.
And then I got a homeboy who's at a JUCO right now, and he's been recruited by JSU. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like he decides to go to JSU and Deion leaves. You're like, that's tough, bro.
Really tough.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's so much who he's supposedly linked with. That's the issue. I mean, Auburn, I would have got it.
I would have got it.
There's other jobs. And again, if there are no great jobs open now,
chill.
Wait.
That's it?
Yeah, chill. You know, it'll happen. You're not going to get worse at JSU. That's for sure.
No, that's for sure. All right. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. Ray, I wanted to see if we were going to have time to do this, so I didn't prep you because I didn't know if we would have time, but we actually do have time.
All right.
This is what I wanted to do. Now, I wanted you to take the field and for me to take Kodak Black and for you to make convincing arguments for the field for who's actually the Florida GOAT. Now,
this is terrible.
Now, understand that Ray, you're actually a fan of Kodak Black as well, so it's not like you making any disparaging comments here. And now, but Ray is a guy who has covered, been around, video, all of that stuff, edited, done video work for all of these artists, a lot of these artists in Florida and other places. We have Pink here, who is an actual lawyer who actually went to law school.
I did.
So we're just going to give him a raise here and make him the judge. All right.
It might be a pay cut.
Excuse me.
I'm not lying.
And I'm going to take Kodak's side here. And then, so what we'll do is we'll go back to the timer type situation, and we'll go like 90 seconds, and you take each artist. All right.
Just
you take the field. Oh, go ahead.
A rule. So is this of all time?
Of all time.
Oh, easy. All
Florida
right,
artists all time, and you make an argument. He's going to make an argument for an artist.
He's got 90 seconds
yes.
to make his argument,
yes.
and then you get to rebut.
And I get to rebut for each one of those artists.
Okay, fair
on to
enough.
why Kodak is better than that artist. All right. So this is it, Kodak the Florida GOAT. All right. You get your first artist now and go.
My first artist against Kodak Black, Rick Ross.
Okay. Go ahead.
So you look at Rick Ross and what he's done musically, and the records that he's done has how they've had success here, Florida, nationwide, internationally. I definitely don't think that Kodak stands a chance in the paint against him. If they were to do a versus and we're talking 20 songs, there's no way in the world, there's no way possible that Kodak Black, that Kodak Black would beat Rick Ross in the 20-song verses. No way in the world, at all, bro. Because Kodak doesn't have a Everyday I'm Hustling. Kodak doesn't have a BMF. I think I'm Big Meech. You get what I'm saying? Kodak doesn't have the records with Jay-Z. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no way in the world, bro. There's no way in the world. The iconic remixes with Ross, the songs with Drake. there's no way in the world. Ross been doing it too long. So, that's all I got to say, brother.
That's good. Okay, didn't even need the whole time.
Such is his confidence.
All righty, so there is one artist that I don't have a big argument for or against. Rick Ross is not one of them. So now Rick Ross is a guy. If I'm going Florida versus New York and Cali, he's probably going to be the first person I bring up because he is a really good rapper. He's a really good artist, and he has done all of those things that you have said there. And that is true. In the verses, Rick Ross probably would win, and that's probably not a probably. He has bigger songs. The thing is, the reason why Rick Ross cannot be the Florida GOAT is one thing about Florida is character. And we're really big on character. Now, once again, Rick Ross is one of my favorite artists.
We're the home of fucking crazy people.
Yeah. But here goes the thing. See, a guy from New York ain't never beat me in nothing, okay? And so if you from Florida and you're battling a guy from New York, and which was 50 Cent, and 50 Cent just really took Rick Ross apart at the seams. And Rick Ross recovered from that musically, but he never recovered from that character-wise because you lied about something so simple about being a CEO where there are many of guys in Florida who have jobs and do dirt on the side. That's just what Florida guys do. But you had to hide that fact. And then 50 Cent went and had sex with your baby mama and put on tape and had on doing all this type of crazy stuff. And you just character issues. That's the reason why Rick Ross cannot be the Florida GOAT. That's my time, 131.
He said no more music.
I don't know, man. Can the judge ask a question?
You can ask, yeah.
Has anybody fucked Kodak's bitch?
Not yet. No.
Who's the best bitch he's fucked?
Lies.
Who? What? It wasn't. What? You talking about?
Jada is Lil Baby's lady now. Jada, that was Kodak X.
These little chicks, they go by everybody. He talking about.
You don't want to go.
Rick Ross had a child from this lady. He was
man.
with her.
Come on,
like nobody slept with Kodak Black's baby mom or a guy that a girl that he proposed to.
Has Kodak smashed another high-profile artist girl who he had a kid with?
Nah, Kodak had him first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Compelling arguments on both sides. But what's the criteria for being the Florida GOAT?
Having the best music.
But everything, man. Music, character, battles. Kodak never lost a battle. Rick Ross lost a big, huge public battle.
Oh my God.
But you don't have to make your total decision now. We can move on to the next artist,
okay.
And we'll go from there. Even if you want to call that a draw.
Like legitimately, like I do feel that's a draw. I think Rick Ross's global influence. But that is tough, getting caught in a lie and having your baby mama smashed by another
man.
artist.
Ain't got nothing to do with the
on
music.
video. On video.
But if you bring up character,
that's tough.
Kodak bit an underage girl, And
he didn't get sentenced for that. We don't know. He's innocent in the eyes of the law.
He said it out his own mouth.
I said he's innocent in the eyes of the law.
He bit her underage.
Go to the next artist.
Where did he bite her?
He don't want to talk about it.
Where did he bite her? This matters. This man influenced my decision.
So the next artist, we're gonna go with Plies.
Okay.
All right. Even though I'm gonna just say it like this. Kodak not beating Plies in the battle. He's not. Because Plies appeals to the ladies. Ladies a lot. And if you look at the record like Shawty, what does Kodak have to combat that? You get what I'm saying? And what Plies had everybody wanting to be goon this and goon that, Plies had a bigger influence on Kodak than Rick Ross did because of Plies' vernacular, the way he talked with the gold teeth and stuff like that. Plies gave Florida that look. Not saying that Trick Daddy didn't do it way back then, but Trick Daddy was talking about some completely different stuff. And you look at what Plies was talking about as far as like gangster rap, and in Florida, there's no way. There's no way as far as what he has done and the longevity and songs. You get what I'm saying? Because Kodak literally makes that. He's like a protege if you listen sonically to what he's talking about. You know, when he talks about the judicial system, about the neighborhood he grew up in, and how getting in bushes and robbing and killing and stuff like that. Plies was the blueprint to all Kodak music. So how can, you know what I'm saying, you go against that?
Okay.
How can you, Bubba?
Once again, you didn't take the whole time. That's cool. You know what's funny is every time I see a Lil Wayne video and they ask him his whatever artist most influenced him or best artist of all time, whatever, that list switch every time they interview him. Kodak, every time they interview him and they ask him that question, Plies is on that list every single time. So yeah, you're right about influencing him and stuff like that, right? But here goes the thing. There are even more character issues with Plies than there actually was with Ross. And you just cannot be the Florida GOAT with these type of not even allegations, with proven things. Jamie Foxx, an R&B singer, all right, just totally exposed and took Plies off at the seams, okay? And that just can't happen. You can't have that happen from an R&B star.
What did he do to him?
I'm going to explain that, but also Plies didn't even address these things, all right, which even led to more credence to it. So basically, some guys came to where Jamie Foxx and Plies had a song, and they were shooting a video, and the guys came to see if Plies, all they wanted to see was Plies really about what he's talking about in his music, okay? And Jamie, who has a great impressionist, he says how Plies' vernacular totally flip-flopped and changed during this exchange. And he became a Harvard professor during this time, and he also ran from these guys. Now, the point of this whole thing is, and I'm getting close to time, is not that whatever Plies ran or that he isn't who he seems to be in his music. It's just that he's totally a character. He's a fictional character. That's what he is. A lot of people have already attested to this. He's living whatever is his brother, things like that. There have been numerous of accounts just like this from other artists. Yo Gotti has an experience. There are other things as well. Boosie has said some things, and if one person says it, maybe it's not true, but if 3 to 4, and you can't be going this and going that, and nobody is there to really back your story aside from your blood brother. All right. I went 20 seconds over time.
Who do you got next, Blu Ray?
Oh, so it's on me again. So
you have the field.
That's Ross, that's Plies. And he never talked about the music. He talking about character.
I think Kodak could really get close in a versus Plies. Versus the Rick Ross. Plies would probably still win because of the Chick Flick records, but he would get really close.
All right. I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in here.
Please do.
Hot Boy.
Oh, my God.
Since that's where he want to go, we're going to go somebody who living the same life, who got the same track record, who when it comes to character, they twins. And went on to become twice as hot as he was, 2 or 3 times as hot as he was with the record he did in such a small amount of time. Ooh, I'm gonna throw him in the conversation, and I don't even have to say too much about that. That's my time.
Yeah, the thing about Hot Boy, he's just not there yet, right? So yeah, I mean, you could say he's projecting or whatever, but he's not there yet. And all of these jits look up to Kodak. Hot Boy said it numerous times, and it's almost like the reverse of you saying that he looked Kodak looked up the plies.
Thus the monkey wrench.
All of these are that's part of the monkey wrench. But this monkey wrench is the music. Kodak will wash him. Not wash. No, that's disrespectful. He wouldn't wash them, but it would be a handedly victory. And the characters, no really character flaws there, but it's just not time yet. It's not time yet for Hot Boy. Not time yet. Go ahead. and he's from Orlando. Shout out to Orlando. You haven't said the one that I thought you would yet.
Trick Daddy. T-double-D.
T-double-D.
No way he beats him character. There's no way he beats him musically. There's no way he beats him as far as the influence goes. And what Trick Daddy gave us as far as speaking his mind when it comes to gangster rap, and also talking about, like I said, I go back to how he stood up and talked about blacks, inequality and mass incarceration and things of that sort. And still today being relevant. And you talking about the greatest of all time, bro. And then him introducing us to Trina, who went to be one of the most influential female rappers. There's no way. I have to hear what you're going to say about this, brother.
Yeah, Trick Daddy is the one. And I guess you say the best for last. Another one that people say sometimes before I get the quick Trick Daddy quickly here is T-Pain. But T-Pain, I don't put in this. First of all, he's not a rapper. Actually, a lot of people don't know he actually started out as a rapper, right? Some people don't know that. And then he found the auto-tune thing, similar with Future there, right? So he can't be that. But okay, Trick Daddy, yeah, that's the one. I don't have a lot of arguments for, just one. All right, but Trick Daddy, his music is there. Oddly enough, and I don't know why, his Billboard numbers are not as attractive as these other guys. But we know from being Floridians and listening to rap that Trick Daddy does have a lot of, his discography is deep and it should be Kodak's. But just appearing up Billboard to Billboard, it doesn't appear that way to be. So that's up to you. If you're on a numbers person or a feels people person, all right, that's up to you. Now, and yeah, everything else is A1 like you said. Now, here goes the thing. Do I want the Florida GOAT to be a guy who put ass eating on us? We didn't ask for it. He just put it on us. Florida guys. Now I go to New York, I go to Philly, California, Puerto Rico. They just automatically assume that I eat ass because I'm from Florida and Trick Daddy got the the Eat a Booty committee. And I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with a guy being a Florida GOAT, that he could have asked if we were okay with that. He didn't ask. All right. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm just saying ask first. And then, that's my only thing about Trick Daddy being the Florida GOAT.
Kodak can't be the Florida GOAT because his last few projects, he talking about how he doing crystal meth, dog. So you come on, man.
But that is a character issue.
No, they asked him about it, and it's just a line. But
no, it's not.
Well, then the character comes into question. He's lying and pretending.
Not lying, a line like a bar.
Right.
But not about him doing it. He's not. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't think he is though.
And none of them dudes that I mentioned got caught lacking in Cali and got shot by a Canadian. So no disrespect.
But he fought the dude. He fought. He made the mistake and he he said he made a mistake by fighting the dude when he said he knows everybody got guns now. You know, he thought he was in the 80s. He wanted to fight.
We're still fighting.
You got to get extra credit to him because he wanted to put the guns down and fight. Put the dukes up. You got a problem with me? Let's fight. And
no
you got to give him a look. Come on, man.
That's just bad tactics right there.
No,
bad tactics.
I want to support people who are still out here that wants to fight versus
you did a whole piece.
Guns.
You did a whole segment on grown men shouldn't be fighting each other.
If you got a problem,
no, you said they should be.
You got to see. If you have to fight or shoot, I'd rather you fight. Okay.
Hey, I remember the old Untouchables movie with Kevin Costner. If he pulls a gun, or if he pulls a knife, you pull a gun. History always rewards the superior weapon.
If he pulls a knife, you pull a gun.
Hell yeah.
No, I think that was fun. I think that was fun.
I am comfortable eating ass, so I'm going to go with Trick Daddy as the Florida goat.
Oh, my God.
Amen. That's my ruling.
There we go.
That was tough though. That was really tough because at the end of the day, and this is shout out to Kodak Black, what he's done, and his influence, culturally wise, how he got everybody spreading the money, and he got everybody posing like this, and he got the dances, and from all of that to the influence on Cardi B, the influence on Meg Thee Stallion, his influence on NBA YoungBoy. You're talking about the biggest artists across that genre. Kodak Black has single-handedly had a hand in and gave birth musically to all the people who start wearing the crazy hair. You get what I'm saying? Because that took over here in Florida.
Yeah.
And then you had boom. A huge boom in the rapper. So, I mean, shout out to Kodak Black when it comes to that.
But I mean, looking at the long view of this, it and you guys kind of acknowledge in each of the argument, like all these dudes built off of each other in different ways.
Absolutely.
And they expanded it. And like at the end of the day,
absolutely.
And I guess, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I guess maybe except for Hot Boy, like Kodak is the current iteration of Florida.
Yeah, but it's, like you said, even Hot Boy, his hair, the look, his original sound, like what Kodak gave, like everybody built off each other because you have Trick Daddy Slip and Slide, then comes Plies, then you have comes Rick Ross, then comes Kodak. You get what I'm saying? Then comes boom, 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 boom. So it's like you said, everybody fed off each other. The issue that I have with that is how, unlike Atlanta, even though Atlanta's a city and Florida's a state, what Atlanta does for their culture and how they stick together, how these artists stick together, and Plies tried to do it. You get what I'm saying? We're going out and doing these songs with these young guys. The older guys didn't really reach back. You get what I'm saying? And I think that is a big and huge drawback when it comes to music and the longevity of those artists.
Everybody's just a separate entity. There's no brotherhood to it.
That same thing that goes.
Not at all.
Same thing that goes for like New York hip hop. It's like they reach that plateau. They don't reach back to the younger guys, and that's why hip hop doesn't live in New York no more. Hip hop lives in Atlanta.
Well, the thing about it, Florida guys, they want to make money off the guys, right? So they want to sign them. They want to. You know what I mean? Rick Ross tried to sign, Kodak and this and that and so forth and so forth. So, I think that has a part. I think that's a part of it too. I do. Well, you guys have been on the bench. That pretty much does it for us today. Appreciate you guys watching.
Hope you were entertained.
Blue, do you have something coming out soon?
I just got a question. Did y'all talk about these women showing up for Deshaun Watson Sunday?
No, we did not.
Dang, that was supposed to be one of the things we were supposed to talk about. Go ahead. We got the time.
This is out freaking rageous.
Now, the game is in Houston or Cleveland?
I believe the game is in Houston.
I believe it's in,
so that's where all these chicks were
in
anyway.
Houston. So yeah, Deshaun Watson, he's playing for the first time this season, and apparently 10 of the accused, 10 or more, really, are supposed to be at the game.
Well, I mean, they all lost their biggest client. They're probably free schedule. Let's go watch some football.
If somebody sexually assaulted me, why do I want to go see them?
Well, that's the thing. He didn't sexually assault him.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
Nah, this just pushes the absurdity of the whole thing to another level.
They should all get the money back. They should have to all get the money back.
They got the money. They have, he got suspended for a extended period of time.
Some person is just coordinating this for attention.
I'm sure it's Houston. I'm sure Houston probably paid.
No, it might be the attorney that repped them all or whatever.
Okay, who's the owner of Houston's
neighbor?
Neighbor.
Yeah.
What did Deshaun Watson do so bad to that man, bro?
Yeah.
Just wanting to leave?
Yeah.
Just wanting more money? Like, that man is trying to destroy him. But, like just getting back to it, bro. This man, like, you tried to destroy this man's character in the worst way, bro. And you're going to go make a stand, or call yourself making a stand by going to watch him play. Man, that's terrible, man.
It's so bizarre. To where, but first of all, it's not basketball, right? So it's not like he's going to be able to look up and actually pinpoint and see them.
Well,
at an NBA game, that's possible.
It's gonna be interesting. Like I assume they're all gonna sit together, but I don't know where are they gonna put them.
In the owner's box?
Are they gonna? Well, but that's so far removed. Are they gonna put them like maybe kind of behind the Cleveland sideline? Like, is there something? I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be interesting. And also, is it going to be a thing that if you're watching that game, they're going to constantly cut to these women?
Yeah.
Like, okay, Deshaun throws 3 incompletions in a row, 3 and out. How do the girls react?
Bro,
what's up?
What's dangerous about this? What if this was on the flip side? All 10 of those women have grand openings of their new businesses with this newfound money they got, and Deshaun Watson shows up to every last one of their grand openings.
Yeah,
they're gonna call him a predator. They're gonna call him a this, and they're gonna call him that. But they're heralding these women. Come on, man.
Yeah, this is just stupid and petty and absurd.
It is.
I mean, what do you hope to accomplish? I mean, literally, there's been no criminal prosecution of this. That went nowhere. You got a civil settlement. The guy suffered a ridiculously long suspension. And now you're going to do this. Like, he didn't fucking kill you.
So the NFL
he didn't rape you.
Yeah.
They protect the women by suspending him and fining him and doing all this. But they don't protect his players by allowing those women to come on, man. That's terrible, bro.
It is terrible. They even brought in a woman arbitrator, the thinking that she was going to make the suspension a year or 2 years long.
And then the league rejected it. Like, she had a,
yeah.
Her suspension was rejected, and they went above and beyond.
Yeah, because I think her suspension was what?
I think 4 or 6 games in that ball. 6 games sounds right.
And what she said, she didn't think that. What she said, I can't remember the exact words, but she said something on the lines that she don't think that he did anything criminal, but his behaviors was what was most concerning.
Yeah,
and I said that from the beginning. This is weird. Like, his side of this is weird fetish behavior.
That's it.
He happy endings.
It's more than that.
It's more than that.
Yeah,
it's a little more than that.
Yeah. Nah,
but still,
who doesn't like a happy ending? But no, just like the whole, to me, the whole volume, in terms of just the amount of women that he's doing this with, the way he's going about it. I mean, it's almost like an addiction.
Yeah,
that he just couldn't control. I mean, there's discreet ways to get your shit done if you want to get it done, but
exactly,
don't get that sloppy. You know what they say about secrets? 3 people can keep a secret when 2 are dead.
3 can keep a secret
when 2 of them are dead.
Wait a minute, that got dark. I'm starting to wonder about you too, man.
I've always existed in dark places, man.
Well, yeah, man. I'm super thankful for y'all having me, man. Sorry about me missing the majority of the show.
No, you missed the majority. You made the majority. You missed the minority.
I had an emergency. Like, it was crazy. My son is so last minute, bro. Like, so last minute. Like, this man.
A teenager, I presume?
Yeah. Decides to go to the Magic game on a field trip with the Boys and Girls Club at the very last minute.
They're playing the Hawks.
Unbeknownst to me. And so I was dragged here and dragged there, man. But, so I'm super thankful. But as we, transitioning next year, hopefully we can get Bubba to put some of these short films together, and we go ahead and put these ideas out. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving into the printing industry. Huge announcement coming Friday. So, like I said, man, thanks y'all for having me. Y'all are hilarious, man.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Always a good show.
You
always have good insights. That's what I like.
Channel growing too, man. Channel keep up the good work.
We're trying, man.
Trying. That's it.
All right.
Catch you guys next week.
Next week.